Bloody Wars, introduce all this. Made it last 3 seasons so far. I want everyone to give it up for JP Pitts. Woo! Any minute now. All right.
Where's the mic? Devin, the mic.
I did what
Do you have the mic on?
was I supposed to do? It was supposed to be on that table. Was it not on the table?
It's not on the table.
What table was it on? It was on that one.
Lino, you have the mic.
What?
You have the mic.
Oh. Got into the swing of things much.
It's okay.
Force habit.
Bloody Wars Nation, how the hell are you tonight?
Woo!
This is JP Pitts, your host of the Bloody Wars Tournament. We are here live at the Fight Fest Arena at the venue in Brookfield, Illinois, and this is the 3rd year annual anniversary stream of the Bloody Wars Tournament. I'm going to take you guys back into 3 years ago today, because there was a lot of history involved with that. Not too much, but October 15th means a lot to me. And it means a lot to every single member in this building, and to those watching at home as well. Before then, before October 15th, March 21st, 2022, was the day that I first made my entrance into the arcade floor as a Galloping Ghost employee. And you know, when you first started working at your first job, you normally think, and of course it has to be on a Monday. That's when the working week starts to kick in. And you know, training, of course, you're trying to get yourself involved more into work and trying to see if you can fit into the environment. Well, for me, before March 21st of 2022, I've had previous jobs, and they're like normal jobs, but the one that I had for Galloping Ghost was something different. I walked into a community. I walked into a show where every Monday they would reveal a new game into the arcade floor. My very first ever Monday mystery stream of all time, my very first ever Monday mystery stream was Spinal Breakers. That was my very first game that I walked into for the Monday mystery stream. Ever since I've met the community, the stream, people watching this at home right now, you have opened me up in open arms. You guys, you know, it was always awesome getting myself involved into the arcade community. And I was always a fighting game player back in the day. Before I moved into Brookfield, I lived in the Chicagoland area. The world and the place that I lived, it was not all fun. I was bullied at school, and believe it or not, folks, I was diagnosed with autism back when I was 5. And I was very different from many different kids. It was not the welcome that you would get from the Chicagoland area. I was very different from everybody else. I've always wanted to fit in with everybody else. I knew that when I got myself involved in what everybody else was doing, it was gonna be hard for me to make friends. It was gonna be hard for me to get a community going. I was always getting picked at school. I was always getting picked on because I couldn't communicate right. I couldn't figure out the words to explain how I feel. Even when I'm exhausted, my brain takes a while for me to explain how I feel or what to say. And that was, in my opinion, that was something that not a lot of people took that as a weakness. I've always gotten picked out of school, but there was a time in my life where I said, enough was enough. Since then, I've always wanted to become a wrestler. I fell in love with sports. I fell in love with wrestling. I fell in love with mixed martial arts. I grew up in that area. I grew up with the people that trained me. And till this day, I've always loved the idea of fighting everybody else. I still do to this day, which is awesome. But it's great. It was a great industry. And me learning that you're able to do that virtually in a video game, that's what got me on board more. I was introduced to that with Mortal Kombat. It was the original Mortal Kombat. My biological father got me into video gaming. Before I stepped foot into the arcade, I was into Dragon's Lair, Super Mario Brothers, Sonic, but I've always wanted to fight people in the game. He introduced me to Mortal Kombat, and ever since then, I've always fell in love with that franchise. What's cool about that industry is it's located in Chicago, believe it or not. So that drove me more to engage with everybody else that loved Mortal Kombat the same way that I do. And I've always loved competition. I've noticed when I stepped foot into the Galloping Ghost arcade, when I first saw that there was barely any competition at the arcade, I'm like, something has to be done. That bright idea that I had of me running fighting game tournaments at Galloping Ghost Arcade before October 2022, that's when something struck the light in me where I'm like, I gotta make this happen. My first game ever that we ran, October 15th, 2022, was Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. It was a slow start. What was it, 4 or 5 people in my tournament, which is expected, but I didn't stop there. I've always visioned competitors coming here at the arcade once a month, getting a cash money prize, top 3 contenders, including a championship belt. Now, who wouldn't want that? Who would want that? The games that you've been playing with since you were a kid, and now you have the opportunity of being involved in a game that you love since you were a kid, and now you're competing for it, and you get a championship belt, people are going to want to watch that. And that's when I grew my love for competition. That's where the love of competition came from, as far as the arcade goes. And I've always said there's always room for growth. There's always room for evolvement. Season 3 was one hell of a year. We've had so many things going on. What started season 3 was FGC tournaments. And to those that don't remember, November of 2024, we've had Street Fighter 6. And we've got a little taste of what the FGC crew was about. We saw people from different teams. We saw a player from iPlay Games. We saw different people. We saw Norbert's brother that knows a lot about fighting games in the FGC world today. And we saw him come all the way from Florida and to compete brother with brother. And that's something that we've encouraged in Bloody Wars. But never in my lifetime, I thought I would never see a community, a strong growing roster coming in here wanting more, wanting to engage more in what we do. And that to me is something that I can be grateful for. No words can describe how grateful for me to run tournaments for every single one of you. Regardless if you're just watching the streams on my YouTube channel or you're just participating in the tournaments, you made the Bloody Wars tournament the way it is, and I thank you for that. Give yourselves a round of applause. I appreciate that. And I knew I couldn't do this alone. In the beginning of season 1, I was kind of a one-man show. But as time went on, I knew I couldn't do this alone. With that said, I just gotta give a huge shout out to the people that I am fortunate to work with. First and foremost, she couldn't make it here today, but I want to give a huge shout out to Catherine Bosey. Catherine Bosey, ladies and gentlemen. I know she's sick right now. She couldn't make it out here today, but she wanted to. Catherine Bosey, you're the main reason why the competitors, whatever the tournament may be, you're the reason why they were so eager to get their final words out. They were so eager to say what they want to say. They're the reasons why, you know, they want to be part of the pre-show. They've always wanted to be part of the pre-show to get, not only to get their final words out and to make a statement and build their character, but you've given them a reason to open up a little bit. Show who you are behind the camera, or in front of the camera, I should say. And I greatly thank you for your contributions, and of course, Jeremy too, helping me out with behind the scenes work as well. You both are awesome. So thank you, Captain. Thank you, Jeremy. And of course, I'm gonna give a huge shout out. He's probably in the background now. I'm gonna give huge shout outs to Devin Cordova, folks. Devin Cordova. Working behind the scenes, of course, doing commentating behind the camera, but I've noticed something with Devin. Normally, I mean, of course, you're here to commentate and you're giving your thoughts of what the characters or what the players are doing. How are they gonna, you know, conquer the tournament? And that's what you're supposed to do as a commentator. But he did more than that. I would say the Tekken 8 tournament was a big example of how much we appreciate Devin's contributions behind the scenes. You know, there was so many times where he would come up to me and be like, "Oh, how do you do this, JP? What do you do this in the software?" Like he got himself involved. Whatever he wanted to do, and that's why he's behind the scenes with me right now. He could just be a commentator, he could just stick to his role and then be out of his way. But no, he stuck through and he was able to put in as much effort as he could possibly do. And that's what we want for Bloody Wars. And I can't thank you enough, man, for what you do behind the scenes. One more time for Devin Cordova. Another member that just joined us for Season 3, in the beginning of Season 3, of course, our very own Lionel Cantu, ladies and gentlemen. You know, me and him, it all started with him messaging me about commentating work for Street Fighter 6. That's how it all started. We had our very first interaction was the week before the tournament, as I recall. And it was at Dunkin' down the street. And me and him, I mean, he was always giving me inputs of how to work FGC tournaments, what people really need in Bloody Wars. And like I said, he could just be a commentator. Hell, he could have just been a one-night stand for Street Fighter 6. But no, he stuck through. Whenever I needed inputs, or whenever I'm struggling to figure out what does the FGC need, how do I get more people involved, he was there. He was there by my side. And give credit where all credit's due. He's the guy that gave us the name Fight Fest, our weekend event. So all credits to him. I can't thank you enough for what you've done, man. And of course, we have talked about it for a while, and we're gonna give him another year as an extension of his contract. So you will be seeing him again next year in Season 4, ladies and gentlemen. One more time for Lionel. And of course he knows what he's doing. Street Fighter 6. As far as Street Fighter 6 goes, he knows what he's doing. Speaking of that, he will be representing Team Bloody Wars at Frosty Fausti's, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations to Lionel. I expect big things from you, and I can't wait to see you fight, man. This is awesome. Thank you so much for everything that you've done. And when it comes to blood, you know, we've been seeing brother versus brother match, father versus son match. We've been seeing a lot of blood, a lot of family members coming in here for Bloody Wars and doing their thing. But, of course, when it comes to blood, I mean, of course, everybody's going to support you. There are people out there that want to support you, whatever you want to do. But you got to get there, though. You got to get to them first. You got to know a specific guy to get what you need to get done. But blood is guaranteed. Family is always guaranteed. That's why I have to give a shout out to David Figueroa, ladies and gentlemen. David Figueroa. You know, of course, him trying to get himself involved more, helping me out behind the scenes, of course, while he's, going to school and, trying to set his future up for success. At the same time, stepping up to the plate when it matters the most when it comes to Bloody Wars. And, of course, family comes first. And he is the exact definition of what you need for Bloody Wars. And I can't thank you enough for what you do, man. And I know you've been working hard. You've always worked hard for me. You've always worked hard for the community members. And you've always worked hard for the viewers out there watching at home. No words can describe how much you are awesome. Even if it's in the ring or if it's at the house, you have my back, and I've got your back too, man. So one more time for David. But of course, I can't do this without anybody here. Of course, the people that have looked into what I've been doing and want to be a part of it as far as venue goes. So of course, I want to give a huge shout out to Cynthia Gonzalez, the building owner for the venue, for her to allow us to do what we do best. Of course, we've had our very first ever weekend event, and we've always had our anniversaries here. Huge shout outs to her. I thank you so much, Cynthia, for giving me the opportunity to do what I do best here. We will see you again shortly. But of course, I've also got to give a huge shout outs to the man that I've always wanted an arcade for himself. Back in the day when Galloping Ghost Arcade first opened, one of the first customers ever, he was one of his first customers at the arcade. Of course, a very well-known Street Fighter player, and he's always wanted to have his own arcade. He was dedicated, he was motivated to make that happen. And of course that happened. And that, my friends, I'm talking about Uday Kumra, the owner of the Headless Horseman Arcade, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Uday Kumra, ladies and gentlemen. I can't thank you enough, Uday. I don't know if you're watching this on stream right now, but it has been an honor. And when you first came into the arcade, when I first met you face to face, you've seen what I've done. You've seen the tournaments that I've ran at the arcade. He's always wanted tournaments at his arcade. And of course, we've always got to support our locals. He's located in Wheeling, close to Displays a little bit, all the way up in the north area. You guys got to support your locals, folks. Wheeling is a great community out there, and he's trying to do what it does best. I think they're having a wrestling event over there at Wheeling, and you got to support your locals, folks. We got to get more people at Wheeling. So, of course, thank you so much, Uday, for having us as the venue. You're awesome, man, and I can't wait to see you soon. Give it up for Uday Kumra, ladies and gentlemen. As far as venues go, last but not least, I want to give a huge and absolute shout outs to Doc Mack and the Galloping Ghost Arcade, ladies and gentlemen. Doc Mack, ladies and gentlemen. That's how Bloody Wars always started. That's how Bloody Wars started, folks, believe it or not. I've always wanted tournaments to happen at that place. That's how we first started the community. That's how we first started growing the roster. That's how even the casuals, people that don't normally know how to play fighting games, we were able to get so many casuals involved. People that loved fighting games. People are saying like, oh, okay, maybe I'll get like, I don't know, top 10, top 15. They don't care about that. They care about winning. They care about playing their favorite game, and they care about being part of the community. And that all started there at the Galloping Ghost Arcade. Thank you so much, Doc, for everything, for 3 years of us running tournaments at your arcade. 3 years me being there, working hard every day. It's always an honor. Always an honor working with you, Doc. So one more time for him and the Galloping Ghost Arcade. This is something that I've never expected. When we first started season 3, I've always thought, maybe we can get some locals, maybe we can get some people out here, but I never expected out-of-towners. I've never expected out-of-towners. I just want to give a huge shout out to Me Like to Smash and his son, Sonic Fox. The other way around. Phonic Sox. You know what? That would be crazy if Sonic Fox would actually be here. The internet would break. Me Like to Smash and Phonic Sox coming all the way from Texas just to be a part of Fight Fest for Mortal Kombat 11. His son, man. Oh man, he was impressing everybody in that building. When I first talked to him, his father for that matter, he's told me he loved the Mortal Kombat 11 game, and boy, he did prove that. He proved him right, that's for sure. And I've always encouraged other people, like, while you're young now, get more involved in what you do best. Whether if it's fighting game tournaments or a fighting game that you know how to play very well, get involved in the community. Get involved in what we do. You don't have to be far away, or it doesn't have to be bloody wars. Do what you do best and be a part of the show. Be a part of it, folks. Be a part of it. That's all we ask. And of course, we got to give a shout out to Strider versus Norbert Vale's brother, ladies and gentlemen, from Florida. Woo! Eddie. He came all the way from Florida to compete in Street Fighter 6, our very first ever tournament of season 3. It's an honor having him here. And I shouldn't have called Norbert ever. I shouldn't have called him at all. That's my bad on that. I hope you forgive me, Eddie. But next time, whenever you come around, I'll keep my mouth shut for you, okay? But thank you so much for what you've done for Street Fighter 6. I'm pretty sure this is not going to be the last time we'll see him. If we need you, of course, I'll reach out to your older brother, but him and you, Norbert, you guys are awesome, so very much appreciate that. And of course, we've also had, it doesn't even have to be FGC tournaments, we've also had our Killer Instinct champion, Ali Romero, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from New York. And we've had 16 people in the tournament. We haven't had that many since Mortal Kombat 4. No, that was second 3. But yeah, regardless, he showed up, and we predicted that Matthew Nasia was going to walk away with the championship on that day. But that didn't happen. Ali Romero came all the way from New York just to play, and he dominated everybody. That just goes to show, you never know who's coming through that door when it comes to the tournaments. You never know who's going to come in through that door. Whether you're from New York, UK, from a different freaking country, dude. If people know that KI is on the floor, or whatever fighting game there is out there, they're coming and they're going to dominate. So that's one thing you got to remember when it comes to Bloody Wars, ladies and gentlemen. There is no guarantees There was never any guarantees, and we all should know that. So thank you so much, Ali, for coming all the way from New York just to spend time with us. Your belt and the championship shirt that you've got, they've already been sent to you, my friend. So thank you and enjoy. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. And now, with that being said, this is the moment where everybody came out to see, at least for the viewers watching this at home. This is the moment where we let everybody know who was the best in season 3. We're about to find that out right now, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we could just announce your first award, if I can open this, is the first champ of this season. Now, normally before, we've always got to give this award out to the member that, made a first impression for season 3. There was a great grand final winner for that tournament. There's always competition. He's always competing in different organizations. I think he won in C2, E2 at one point for Street Fighter 6, and he's trying to dominate in different areas, different local areas. I think he got top 3 or top 4 at around Roundhouse, but he's always doing Street Fighter 6. And that man's name is IGP Spirit, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! IGP. Sorry about that. He's not here right now, but this goes out to you, my friend. We'll probably ship it out to you whenever we get a chance to see you. But cheers to you. Thank you for doing what you're doing for Street Fighter 6. I hope to see you in the next one, man, whenever we have one. Spirit, ladies and gentlemen, one more time for him. Woo! There we go. I got it. The next award that I would like to present, it is the Patronize Award. To those that don't know what that is, this is the award where you don't even have to be a good fighting game player to be part of Bloody Wars. You could just be a casual player that likes to just play for fun. Whether you're in grand finals, in pre-show, or I don't know, whether you're just here for the entertainment or just casually playing for fun. This award goes to 2 people, actually. This is a first. Those 2 people for the Patronize Award goes to Claudio Capello and Steven Lucas, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Of course, Claudio Capello, him playing so good in Power Stone. I've always predicted Claudio would be at least top 3, but I would have never expected him to be at least grand finals with me. And before me and him discussed about Power Stone, he was aware that Power Stone was coming up. During that time, he was like, yo, JP, I'm not sure if I'm qualified enough to, participate in Power Stone. I don't know if it's worth my time. And I'm like, hey, dude, listen, why does it matter? You're here for the fun anyways. We've got a great lineup, great roster, very accepting people. And there's a saying that I like to say, it's, if you risk it, no biscuit. So why the hell not? And of course, Claudio Capello, him getting up to grand finals with me, that's very impressive. That's very impressive for that to happen. Sorry, Aiden. And of course, we've had Steven Lucas, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, when you hear that man's name, there's a lot of faces and a lot of moods when you hear that man's name. Let's be honest. The man that's behind the camera. The man that always has, I want to say the right words, a therapeutic device on him.
Some shit to talk.
Yeah, there you go. You can put it that way. Regardless of what he has to offer, he's always here for the fun. The last tournament he was involved with was Breaker's Revenge. And if you guys don't remember what happened in Season 2, I've launched my Bloodcast, and there was always shit-talking with that game. There was always battles between me and him online. And he's like, you know what? Make Breaker's Revenge the next Bloody Wars game. Make it happen, JP. And I'll take down everybody.
And how did that work out?
Not well.
Top 3, actually. Top 3, which is awesome. Very much appreciate, Steven, for what you've been saying about Bloody Wars, encouraging us to do what we do best. I appreciate the hell out of you, man. Steven, Lucas, and Claudio, ladies and gentlemen. The next award is the Promo Award. You know, there wasn't that many promos out there for Season 3, which is my fault. That's on me. But something has happened during Season 3. You know, a year ago today, Aiden Cordova was your MVP of the year for this year. And you know, whenever you're MVP of the year, you get to choose which Bloody Wars game you would like to see in the future in the next season. He chose Waku Waku 7. Now, if you're thinking Waku Waku 7, it's like, what's that game? Have you ever played it before? Who's heard of Waku Waku 7? But there was a meaningful story behind that. And this individual explained it during the pre-show. It was something that, it moved me a little bit. He told me what it was before the pre-show, and I just can't say no to that. And this man's name is Damian Cordova, ladies and gentlemen. Damian Cordova.
Thank you.
Damian, we didn't have that many promos. What we did for Power Stone, you were talking shit, but it's okay, it's okay. That's what it's for, that's what it's for. I'll take it. But besides that, you and your family has always contributed into the Bloody Wars. Your son is doing very well behind the scenes, and you and Aiden, they know how to compete, they know what they're doing, and of course, you guys are awesome as always, and you explaining why you wanted a unique game. Someone that a few people know. Everyone knows why now. And it was a moving story. So I can't thank you enough for your contributions to Bloody Wars. It has been awesome having you for 3 straight years, man. I can't wait to see what you do next year.
I can't wait to play again and see where we go. And yeah, I mean, thank you for that, and thank you for the time to actually explain what it meant to me. And both before and during the pre-show. So I mean, it really meant a lot, and I hope to see it again in the future tournament.
People will know why we're gonna choose it again, and that reason why is Damian Cordova being your promo winner for this season. One more time for Damian Cordova, ladies. Woo! Thank you so much. Thank you. And of course,
You misspelled my name again.
damn! How many times did I get it right?
Did he really?
That's okay. It's Damian with the E and a Blackie with the K. What the hell is going on? I'm gonna leave all of that to Devin or Damian going forward. I'm done with this. I can't spell for shit apparently. But it's the next event winner, the next award, we've got the Bloody Wars Tournament Event of the Year. Now, this award is the award that I give away to a certain contender that's won the tournament. And of course, it's got to be the best of the year. And you know damn well that third strike is guaranteed. And your grand final winner for that is Norbert Vale, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Norbert. Man, it has been an honor having you do what you do best, man. You've had 5 title reigns now, 2 reigns from season 3. You upsetting Uday Kumral, your world record holder for Third Strike. Known to be a very dangerous man in that game, and you took him out like if it was nothing.
Hey. I had to fight like hell to climb back from losers to fight Uday again, and that was no walk in the park. Come on now. Give credit where credit's due. Uday's a good player.
But regardless, man, you showed who the hell you are and what you're doing here in the Bloody. You've pretty much shown that you've belonged here in the industry, and that's what's very important, man. That's why you are the event of the year. Of course, Third Strike, that's gotta be guaranteed right there. So one more time for Norbert Vale, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Norbert. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the MVP of the year. This is kind of like Gamer of the Year, but we're not gonna say Gamer of the Year for legal reasons. But this is every year. This is a special award given to a special individual that has made an impact in Bloody Wars. Part of it, of course, you've got to win the Bloody Wars tournament, but you have to make an impact in Bloody Wars. You have to make an impact in the organization, and that's what it's all about. Your MVP of the year. Before we get into that, of course, we got to hear from all the other MVPs of the years that has gotten to that path. So first, let us introduce to you guys your Season 1 winner, MVP of the year, and that man's name is Norbert Vale, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see it for him.
Boo, he took it again, boo.
Love you too, Devo. But no, seriously. So welcome back, everybody. All I'm gonna say is, wow, yeah, season 3. That's one hell of the year. Had a lot of good contenders. Had a lot of good memories. I mean, I don't know what to say because I felt like season 3 was a way bigger beast than season 2 was. You had a lot more people, coming out from other cities. Like again, Romero from New York coming for Killer Instinct. My younger brother Eddie, who came from Florida for Street Fighter 6. I hope he's back. But yeah, honestly, I think, geez, I had all this written down, and I'm just like, what, screw it. I'm just doing this from the heart. First and foremost, y'all have been great. This community has been one of the best communities I think I've ever been a part of. And honestly, I can't thank you guys enough. I've said this last year, and I'm going to say this again this year. If it weren't for any of you guys, we probably would not have a Bloody Wars community. And for damn sure, if it wasn't for JP Pitts, we wouldn't even have a Bloody Wars at all. So let's give JP a hand. Because without him, none of us would be here. But it's not just him, but his crew. Of course, Catherine Bossi, who could not be here. Devin Cordova, even David Figueroa, and Lionel Cantu, commentary and doing other behind the scenes stuff. You guys have been absolutely amazing at making Bloody Wars what it is today. Let's give these guys a hand. And then in closing, I just want to say is this. I can't wait to see what season 4 brings. And I know the rest of you can't wait either. And I know JP also supposedly had a surprise regarding season 4, which we will hear, I guess, fairly soon.
Yeah, spill.
But with that said, I just want to say thank you guys, from the bottom of my heart. My lovely wife Michelle, who cannot be here, who's watching on stream right now. She has helped me through this journey for so long. We've been together for 10 years, married for 8. And in the 3 years that she has been with me, I can't thank her enough because of her, with her motivation and everything, it led me to being the person who I am right now, basically. So, Michelle, if you're watching, love you, babe. With that said, whenever JP comes back,
Forgot to wear this shirt.
okay, and here's JP, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Norbert Vale. Of course, him being the big face of Bloody Wars, and it takes a lot. It really does take a lot to get to that point. But of course, him being he's always been a great example at that. So is our other MVP of the year. Last season, we've nominated an individual. Unfortunately, took me out in Power Stone. I'm not gonna forget that moment, but yeah, I'm not gonna explain no more. This man is the reason why we are all here today. Of course, for Waku Waku 7, he was the man that wanted this to happen. Of course, he has earned his way to being MVP of the year, and it does take a lot to get there. So let's hear from Aiden Cordova, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
Yeah, right?
Alright.
Alright, here we go. Hey, everybody. Hi, Aiden.
I just want to say thanks again for y'all coming out here today. Those watching from home, thank y'all for tuning in. And I have a little story to tell about how I got here. So yeah, I mean, well, I wanted to start by saying thank you all again for being here, and yeah. This has truly been an experience. Season 2 was definitely a roller coaster of emotions, especially with Power Stone, since JP's a little hesitant to explain the events that transpired within that particular day. I'll fill in some of the gaps. A lot of surprising moments happened. A big turnabout. I mean, we all thought yeah, he was gonna get it. I mean, he said, "Oh, I'm gonna get this." But I came back from losers and proved him wrong. So yeah, I mean, but it wasn't always like that though. I mean, when I was younger, my dad, he's the one who got me into fighting games because he loved them, and I see him one day playing Ultra Street Fighter 4. And you know what, he sat me down, gave me the controller and said, "Hey, wanna learn Street Fighter?" And yeah, I guess to quote someone in the room with us, it was like a Heihachi throwing Kazuya into the volcano and letting me climb my way out. Because he was beating my ass. I mean, I couldn't understand a thing, but I mean, he guided me through some of it, and made me learn my own way of fighting. So I mean, he's really what got me into Shoto players. Ryu, Ken, Akuma, all those guys. So huge shout out to my dad for making me the man I am today, and along with my brother, my sister, my mom. They're always there for me, doing putting myself out there to actually join, be a part of this community. Because yeah, I mean, it definitely does feel good to be a part of something that everyone else likes to do. We all love fighting games. We all love playing arcade games. Fighting games are my favorite. I do other games too, but fighting games, it really lets you connect with friends and family. I mean, we're all here, aren't we? So, I mean, yeah, there's a certain spark that fighting game is kind of show. sparks everyone. It wants everyone to become closer and, come together. And that's really what I liked about joining Blight Wars in the first place. I mean, I never really did it because I was competitive. I was never really like that. I'm a chill guy. I lose. But the one thing that really stands out is despite my losses, I always come back because I don't do it for victory, for glory. I mean, it's like people say, heavy is the head that wears the crown. And so I guess in a way, I sort of avoid the crown. That makes sense? But no, truth be told, I just do it for the love of the game. Of course, I have my moments where I'm serious. I just completely lock in and do some crazy stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's really why I enjoy fighting games, because it really gets me closer to friends and family, and I love all that kind of stuff about games in general, really. I mean, that's why they're there, right? Escape from reality, but also pulling you closer to others in that reality. So really something special. So yeah, I mean, this season, last season, all great seasons, and I honestly cannot wait for what season 4 has in store for us. Because honestly, it might be a doozy. We don't know. Maybe you'll find another friendly face on this podium, maybe. So I mean, yeah. Can't wait to see what we'll have next season. So, thank you all for listening to me speak.
Oh man, I had to take a breather backstage. All right. Yeah, like I said, folks, we are very fortunate to have everybody here. Some people here, but everybody knows, whether you're someone that loves their favorite fighting game, or the best at their favorite fighting games, or someone that loves to have fun. There's always someone that's got to be on top of the season. And I'm not gonna lie, it has been the most hardest decision I have ever had to make for nominating MVP of the year. And normally we would have an engraving for the MVP of the year after we announced who would be the MVP of the year. But I didn't do that. Why? Because this, like I said, this has been the hardest decision I have ever had to make. There were a lot of names mentioning who should be MVP, why they should, and they're all very convincing. If I'm being honest, I feel like I should just say everybody in the Bloody Wars is MVP of the year for this year. It would make me feel a lot better if I'm being honest, but at the end of the day, there can only be one MVP of the year. This has been the most hardest decision I had to make, and I had to take a lot of times, like even the day before the anniversary. It's the hardest decision I've ever had to make. But there was a moment where, of course, you winning a Bloody Wars championship for season 3, or any season for that matter, that pretty much gives you a guarantee towards nomination of MVP of the year. But of course, you have to make some sort of impact to make it happen. You have to give a reason why you're the man around here, and why Bloody Wars is evolving, and why Bloody Wars is growing the way it is. So with that being said, the man that did it all this season, I am proud to present the MVP of the Year winner for 2025 is none other than our very own Lion O! Lionel, of course, you winning Fight Fest Season 3, and that's pretty much guaranteed. But the reason why I had to choose you for MVP of the year, I was gonna when I first mentioned what Bloody Wars was about, it was always about retro games. It was always about retro fighting games, Mortal Kombat, the back then Street Fighter stuff, us running unique games like Tattoo Assassins, Waku Waku 7. We've been doing it for 2 years now. At least 2 years straight over there. But the reason why I chose you, I mean, of course, everybody had very convincing reasons, but the reason why I chose you, you are one of the reasons why we had to make that change. Instead of you just being commentator, instead of you just, you could have just been commentator, done your thing and left, but no. You said, JP, we need to do X, Y, and Z. You need to make sure that the way you're handling Bloody Wars right now, it could be a step further. You're the reason why Fight Fest exists. The main reason why we had to reach out to so many people. You had so many connections to, I play game Spirit. You had connections to people that know how to play Street Fighter 6. With that being said, man, I had to choose you because you're the reason why FGC is part of Bloody Wars. And Season 4 is going to become amazing with that. So I appreciate the hell out of you. It was a very hard decision I had to make. That's why you're MVP of the year. One more time for Lionel, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, to the viewers and everybody here, thank you. Wow, what an honor. Before I even say anything, huge shout out to you. Thank you for having me and giving me the opportunity to earn this. This is amazing. This is great. Wow, what a great night for me.
Of course, man.
Hell yeah, I'm really happy. Happy to share this moment with you. Just starting that Bloody Wars tournament from the beginning. I had no reason to think that I was gonna be one and done, and then after the first Street Fighter 6 event, just leave. Like, no, I love all you guys. This is great. This is fun. I think that's a great culture that we have here, and a culture that can keep getting better. And if we get more people and we share the same ideas and the same culture with gaming, just not just retro, but modern FGC games, like really what brings people back, or what brought me back, it keeps me coming back, is you guys. And just being MVP is like, wow, what an honor. I just started here. And you guys have been doing this for a while, and I feel like I should be thanking you guys. You guys are the real MVPs.
I love you too, man.
We love you, man!
And that's what makes it special. You just started here. I think next month you're about to hit a year of you being part of Bloody Wars. It just took a year for you to be that involved and very deep into the community. You bringing me ideas and you try to tackle on what we could do better for Bloody Wars. And of course, dude, I half or even 75% of FGC today for Bloody Wars cannot be done without you. So it's very much appreciated what you've been doing here, man.
I think Norbert and Aiden would agree that this right here is just a reminder of the love for the game.
Now, because you're MVP of the year, there's always a privilege to give you an opportunity to pick the next Bloody Wars game for Season 4. Besides saying Street Fighter 6, which fighting game would you like to see in the near future of Bloody Wars? We're gonna have that for Fight Club anyway, so you gotta pick something else.
I said it plenty of times. New challengers. Street Fighter 2, new challengers.
Street Fighter 2. Hyper Fighting, which one?
Super Street Fighter 2.
Super Street Fighter 2?
But new challengers, unless you're playing off the collection, because
Yeah.
doesn't have
The
that.
collection's coming out, I think.
No, it's been out.
It's been out.
Gotcha.
It's been out.
Well, we'll have it for you out very soon. That's for sure. One more time for Lion-O, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for him. Street Fighter 2 is a great pick.
Nice pick, man. Yeah.
It's not like it's gonna happen though. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. During season 3 has been very challenging. It has been extremely challenging. If you guys look back into season 1 and season 2, of course, we would have so many people, at least 16 to 15 people at a tournament. And that's like record-breaking numbers for some people, especially for monthlies. We haven't had that in a while. And I felt like there was something missing. Because, if I'm being honest, folks, season 3 has been challenging. And I feel like some of the things that I've provided for Bloody Wars that I've missed out on providing, it's kind of my fault. But we haven't had great numbers in a while. If you guys look back into Fight Fest, we had sponsorships, we had 2 companies sponsoring from Fight Fest, we had, a family of 2 coming all the way from a different state just to provide energy drinks for, if it were to be expected, at least a great number of people, and a lot of investments went through that event. We had WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle advertising for us. All that for a little outcome though. That's what really got me. And I felt like something was missing that I could have provided for season 3, but at the same time, I felt like it's too late. Because if I'm being honest, yes, of course, there's always room to grow. There's always room to get involved more. But I think it's safe to say, folks, that we've reached a different chapter in Bloody Wars. And if I'm being honest, folks, when's the last time I've ever seen the Discord server active? I mean, in the beginning of Bloody Wars, when I launched the Discord server, of course, we've had fighting game memes as a channel. We've always had, we started to get Team Bloody Wars going, trying to create different segments for people. I felt like something wasn't, like there was something missing. I didn't know what it was at the time. Of course, we had Sundays. We had monthlies on Sundays. We had that weekend event on Fight Fest in June. But I felt like, what am I doing? Like, what did I do to, of course, every single time, or whenever you're first starting something, it's always gonna be a low amount, it's always gonna be a low turnout, but a lot was on the line for season 3. I felt like it was my fault for not providing too much. Maybe there was a lot of setbacks during that time, but I know I had something lined up for you folks, at least towards the beginning of November. That's how we've always started things. Last year, we've had Street Fighter 6 November. If we've always started our season in November, or at least in the beginning, but if I'm being honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that's gonna happen. Because I put in a lot of work in Bloody Wars. I put in a lot of my time. I put in a lot of everything for Bloody Wars, and this might not be the easiest thing for me to say to you folks, but of course, this is the end of season 3 for Bloody Wars. But in general, because of everything that happened, everything that I visioned, this is the end of Bloody Wars.
I am so.
Bloody Wars Nation. For 3 years, we have fought together. We've celebrated champions, witnessed legends rise and fall, and we've created moments that will never be forgotten. But tonight, the way you've always known Bloody Wars from before, it's coming to an end. The tournaments, the battles, and the chaos, everything we've built has reached its final round. Maybe this is the last time we gather. Maybe this is the last fight. Whatever the truth may be, we thank you for every cheer, for every chant, and every single fight. This story was written by all of you. And now, we close the book.
All right, everyone, thank you all for coming. That's all for tonight. Take care. everyone can start leaving out this door. If you guys want to take some snacks, drinks, anything with y'all, you can. Opening up the doors, and we will be locking up in about 10 minutes. Well, happy anniversary, everyone. Bye-bye.